All right, into grammar. Page 250, chapter 21, the Cal infinitive absolute. So we've got two kinds of infinitives, an infinitive construct and an infinitive absolute. Introduction. The infinitive absolute occurs less frequently than any other Hebrew conjugation, with only 872 total occurrences. So there you go. Like the infinitive construct, the infinitive absolute is also a verbal noun. With regard to function, however, there is no precise English equivalent to the Hebrew infinitive absolute. So what's the form look like? Comets under the first root letter, and holem vav after the second root letter. Now you can look at the forms and the stuff about that and the weak verbs and those sorts of things. You can kind of curl up by the fire and digest that on your own as much as you can. All right, so the uses of the infinitive absolute on page 252. First of all, the emphatic use. Frequently, the infinitive absolute will immediately precede or rarely follow a perfect or imperfect verbal form of the same root in order to emphasize the verbal meaning. Study the following examples and note how the translations give emphasis to the verbal meaning. So here we have two forms of shema. We have shemoah. Notice how we get that furtive patak thrown in there because of the ayin. And we have an imperfect form of shema as well. So you will indeed listen. So it gives emphasis to the verb. You will certainly die. And that's the form you have in Genesis where God says, the day you eat of it, you will surely die. It's the infinitive absolute and the verbal form. Now, did they die physically that day? That's kind of interesting. No, they didn't. But they did die spiritually, didn't they? All right. Secondly, you have an imperatival use. The infinitive absolute can stand all by itself and function as an imperative. So, zakor, that's an infinitive absolute. Remember this day. Yes, sir.
Isn't it really the third? Don't you really have the whole over the third consonant, not the second?
It's after the second. No, it's after the second root letter. Second consonant. Right? Page 250, katol, ho-ho. Why are you asking that?
Well, if you're going to stretch it out, it looks more like it'd be the third letter, not the second letter.
Well, the holem vav is, in that sense, the third letter.
That's my question.
It's after the second root letter.
Right.
But it really is a vowel, so it's not really.
It doesn't really function as so you should just say after the second.
Yeah.
What would you look for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of a quasi.
Because they can.
Right. All right. Contemporaneous action. With some frequency, two infinitive absolutes may be used together with a perfect or imperfect verb for the purpose of expressing two verbal actions occurring simultaneously. So, vayelik, halok, va'akol. So what do we have here? And he walked, and then two infinitives, halok, walking and eating, which means while he walked, he was eating. All right? Contemporaneous action. Complementary. An infinitive absolute may complete the main verb of a sentence and carry the temporal value of that main verb. Ragom, oto. This is kind of a weird. They kind of did this backwards because these two lines should be reversed. The top line should be kol ha-eda. All the congregation stoning him with stones. That's kind of a poor example, I think. The second one, he gave to him over all the land of Egypt. Well, naton is your infinitive absolute at that point. We probably need more context to see that, I think. So that's a shame. All right, the particles yesh and ain. We've already had these as vocabulary words, haven't we? There is and there is not. Have we not already had these as vocabulary words? So that's not really much of an issue there, is it? That's pretty much it. Vocabulary, bottom page 255. Nasa, to depart. Savach, to slaughter or sacrifice. Chana, to encamp. Nuach, to rest or settle down. Pana, to turn about or turn aside. Looks a little bit like face, doesn't it? Patach, to open. Radaf, to pursue or persecute. Saneh, to hate. Sha'ar, to remain. Bama, high place, or a funerary installation.
I think I'll use that as my normal translation for that word.
Yeah, a funerary installation.
Write a thesis on it someday.
Yeah. Chukha, statute or prescription. Plural could be chukot or chukot, written defectively. Yamin, right or the right side, that's feminine. Mishkan, dwelling, tabernacle. Nakal, stream or wadi. Well, often without water in it, which we don't understand in Oregon, but being from Arizona, I get that. As odd as it would be to see a riverbed here without water in it, it's that odd to see a riverbed in Arizona with water in it. Unless it flash floods. I mean, it is a riverbed for a reason. Twice a year it gets water. All right, Ra'av, hunger, famine. These are pretty cool devotional things they put in here, aren't they? You're reading those, I guess, aren't you? Pretty nifty stuff. All right, so next time we get to do the participle, and we get to talk about syntax after that. Issues of syntax. That's when they charge you extra for cigarettes, isn't it? And after that, we get to get into the nifal, so a brand new stand, the nifal stand.
Are participles as bad as Greek?
No. No. They're not inflected for person, gender, and number either.
That just made my day.
Yep. Yeah, from here on out, it's pretty much smooth sailing, you know? Now, if you want to be able to do all this stuff without any crutches, you got a lot of work to do. You know, memorizing the whole grammar practically, right? But for now, we'll be happy with our Einspar and our dictionary and see what kind of experience we can get in the text. I'm planning before the term is over to show you some computer things on one or two occasions. And that's very good. It's very useful.
Are you going to come to the Lebronics computer class?
In
the first week of April, I think?
April 8th.
April 8th.
Oh, that's a Saturday, isn't it?
Sure is.
I'm in the Sturgeon Fishing Derby, sorry. I probably wouldn't anyway because I'm using Graham Court on my Mac, so probably wouldn't be interested in LeBron. It's probably great stuff, though.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Are you doing it?
Yeah. I want to figure out how to use the program I've had for a year.
You have it? Well, see, that's exactly what happens when you don't use Graham Court on a Mac. You got to go to a class to figure out how to use it.
Graham Court's coming out with a PC version, aren't they?
I think I heard that.
I think you told us that.
I probably didn't because I don't keep up on PC stuff. But remember, the point is not what will your computer do. The point is, what can you do with your computer?
Which is why I'm going with glasses.
Exactly. Well, since I was in seminary, my very first computer was a Mac, and I've had Macs ever since. And I have never, it could be a slight exaggeration, but if it is, it's only slight. I have never had anybody with a non-Mac computer outdo my output, but I could actually put on paper. Nobody could ever outdo it. Usually it couldn't come close to it. Just to show you how old I am, I had Greek and Hebrew fonts in my seminary papers before most people had Greek and Hebrew fonts in their seminary papers, because I had a Mac. So there's an advertisement.
There's a book I checked out for Greek. I think the Canton Line one, where everything's typed except the Greek stuff is all handwritten in.
See, there you go. It wasn't that long ago that, yeah. Yeah, there. I think I was trying to think of books I've seen that were like that. I didn't have a computer when I went to college. I know I'm old, but can you imagine that? I mean, it hasn't been that long. There weren't computers. People didn't have computers when I was in college. But there was still the Bible. Okay, so Ruth, chapter 2. Well, let's see, where are we supposed to be? 11. Well, you did 11 through what? What did you read on your own here? You can look at the syllabus, but the effort.
Looks like 15 through 23 for next week.
Well, actually, 15. Oh, I remember what we're doing. Okay. We read through 10, so we should start at 11. That's right. I'm sorry. Just had a momentary lapse of sanity. We'll start at 11 and go through 17. And what that will do is that will cover the rest of today's that we didn't already read, because we already read the first 3 verses, right? So we'll cover the rest of today's that we didn't read and the first 3 verses for next time to help you with that. Now, understand that I'm not always going to be reading these ahead of time for you, but I will now, right? You understand what I'm saying? When we get along in the course, I'll leave you to the wolves. I mean, I'll leave you to on your own to prepare for the quiz without having the benefit of me reading over it first for you. Right? But now we will, so don't tense, because that's the last thing you want to do is tense. Right? All right. Verse 11. Okay.
Oh, that's long. Never mind.
That is a long one, isn't it?
And on account of Boaz.
Well, I might differ with that.
Is it not it? The Bayan?
Yeah. Vaya'an. All right. Now let's just take this one bit at a time. What do you think the vav is? Reversing. What do you think the yod is? Preformative. Now, we're not sure of any of this. Right now we're just guessing, right? Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, and those are good guesses, right? I only have 2 letters, ayin, nun. Do those ring a bell for you at all? Well, okay. I've got ayin, nun. Does ayin spar help me at all?
No.
Well, sadly, it doesn't seem like it does. But maybe it doesn't because we had it in the previous verse. Favor? No. That's kind of odd. I wonder why it doesn't give it. Maybe it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to have to read the introduction of Einspar again and see why it's not giving that. I mean, it's giving halak, but it isn't giving this one. Well, give me a guess. What do you think it is?
Guessing. Okay, come on.
Well, what could it be? There's not a dogish in the ayin. Of course, that dogish couldn't be in the ayin. So, I mean, could it be a noon dropped out? You could have a yod dropped out. What about a hey dropping out? Could it be ana? It could be ana. What does ana mean?
Answer.
That's right. That's what it is here.
Ana.
Answer. Answer. So that's what it is.
And Boaz and said.
So, do you think that the Gospels have Hebraisms in them? Answered and said.
Amen.
All right.
So verily Boaz answered and said to her, I might guess that that's the inconspicuous one in Knight's Parlor, but I'm not sure. The version form we haven't learned yet.
Okay. Nagad. Let's just take a look. That'd be a good one to look at. And notice we almost have the same form there, but it's not quite. We have who nade, and we have who gade and who God right here. Okay, so we're going to look at Nagad. You can see the dogish in the gimel for the noon dropping out, right? Okay, Nagad.
How do you spell it?
Noon, Gimel, Dalet, 226 and Holiday. Well, you get the page right there in BDP. Ansbar will give you the page in BDP. Hifil. So we're having a Hifil kind of a situation here.
It's the last paragraph. Looks like the last paragraph. Middle of the first column. It starts with
Yeah, there you go. So we have a hafil participle, and then we have a hafil absolute. So I think probably the idea here is either it was certainly reported, or the report was reported. But I would say you probably have an emphatic situation here, right?
You said that was a Hifil?
Hafel. A hafel, yeah. So you have, it was certainly reported to me.
So it was certainly reported to me. All.
Mm-hmm.
Which
So we're looking at
which is Asa.
okay.
I don't remember that ending.
Okay, well, what's happened? The hay is turned to a yod, which is something typical in the perfect, especially, right? So blank, ta, t. Now, we just don't have the Shiva under it.
Okay.
Because it just isn't there. So that would be blank, ta, to fs.
Okay, so all which you do.
Did.
Your mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm. So you got to add something in there. Everything that you did for your mother-in-law.
Or is that F or with?
It's a good question. It looks like it could be either.
After her husband died.
Pardon?
After her husband died.
Well, it'd be your husband. The cough there, that's two FS. After your husband.
Oh, your. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you remember Azav?
That's a lead.
Yikto, tikto, tikto, tiktoli.
You.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep, feminine.
So, and you left.
Mm-hmm.
Your father.
Right, now we're seeing this final cough with a Shiva in it because it's feminine. More often you'll see a final cough with a comet in it because it'll be masculine, right? You left your father.
And mother.
And mother.
And
No, your mother. Your father and your mother.
your father and your mother. And ground.
Yeah.
Land.
Land. Better here. Adamah really is ground. Now, molad take, right? Do you see yalad in here? You don't see the yod, but yod turned to a vav like that's not unusual. Do you see? So we see the word yalad in here. What does yalad mean?
To bear.
To bear or to beget. So this turns out to be your native land.
Okay.
See the logical connection? See that? Where you were born.
You're forgotten there, you're negative.
Yeah, where you're born. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And you. Looks like a lot with the top. Maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
So being you left and walked. Right?
Yes, right. Very good.
to nation, is that right?
People.
People, which you did not know.
Mm-hmm. Kamil and Shilshom really are synonyms, and
Almost like the infinitive that we just looked at.
almost synonyms. Yeah. Well, Tamu is yesterday, and Shilshom is 3 days ago. So, what you do not know yesterday, 3 days ago, maybe it's you didn't know in the till recently. 3 days ago, you didn't know the people. Strange, foreign people too, kind of an idea. All right, very nice. Very good work. All right, who wants to try number 12?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
I know that.
Yashalem.
Completed? Complete your home.
Yeah, well, this reminds us of what?
Completed.
Yashalem. Okay, shalom is going to be our vocabulary word here, right? Or shalem. What does that remind us of?
Shalom.
Shalom. So shalom would be the noun form of it. Here's the verb form of it, right? So to complete, or to make prosperous, or something, right?
So, shall we he or she?
No. It's he. What's the subject?
Oh, there you go. Keep looking. Lord.
Right.
So the Lord completed. Let's check Ein's bar. Doing.
Yep. You could even say your effort or your work or something like that. But here, Yeshalem, how would you parse that?
Would that be cow imperfect?
Well, close, except it's not cow. And it's not imperfect.
Close but no.
It turns out to be a piel.
Oh.
How do I know? Dagesh in the middle root letter for no other reason.
Oh.
And a patak under the first root letter. Those are the diagnostic features of a piel.
And what does a PL do?
Intensifying.
Oh.
However, that's not the important thing. It is an imperfect form, but it isn't imperfect, so it must be a...
I thought you just said it was a PL.
No, well, yeah, it's PL, that's the stem. I want to know the conjugation or the tense.
Oh, perfect.
It's not perfect. It's the same form as an imperfect. What's the same form as an imperfect?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, that's not the same. Joseph, that's right. Because this is a wish formula, right? So, may Yahweh prosper your work. In other words, right? You see it? Now, I mean, you could make an argument. I don't think it'd be right, but you could make an argument that it really says Yahweh prosper your work. But I think Boaz is saying, may Yahweh prosper your work here.
Or continue to prosper, maybe?
Yeah, you could say that based on probably based on the Joseph, sure.
In the context, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going on. I feel like I should know that. What's that root? Sounds like a new game show.
Ooh.
So-
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it Vai with Fuma?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I don't recognize that word.
So we have a Jessup again. May it be. Maskur take. Do you see that in Einspar?
Wages.
Okay. It's got a suffix, so may your wages.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yeah. The top is the doggish in it. It's interesting. Okay, so it's not as easy as it looks on TV, that's for sure. Okay, so your wages. Does that go back to completed?
Mm-hmm.
Completed.
Yeah, well, it gives me that too in Einspar. To complete.
Yeah.
To be complete.
I'm just trying to figure out if it's what's that ending on it, how that ending.
Well, it's a feminine ending of an adjective. May your wages be complete.
I see.
Eam is with, and may, the may is min, from with.
From with. I see. With the Lord. It's just not coming together today. Elohe. Elohe? Is that from Elohim?
Uh-huh.
The Lord God. Ish. Of Israel. In the house. No, go with daughter.
Okay, so God of Israel, Asher, where, Ba. Now that's would be daughter if it didn't have an olive in it, but that olive means it's not daughter.
Is that hollow verb?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
It's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Is it infinitive?
No, it's a perfect.
Hollow verbs. So tricky. Oh, like those big chocolate Easter bunnies.
Yeah. Okay. The God of Israel, either whom you came or where you came, lachasot. Now here we do have lachasot. What do you think that is?
Chasot. You need a stunt double. I don't know. So tempted to go to the NASB.
But that would be sin. Look at Einspar, verse 12 there. Look, it's going to give you that at Einspar.
Chasot. Are you sure it's going to give me that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to give me that for verse 12 or verse
12.
Am I just...
Don't ask that question. Well, all right. What are we dealing with here?
It's an infinitive.
It's an infinitive construct. So the llama's not part of the stem, right? And what happened here? That tav is in place of a hey. So the second word that Einspar gives you is your word right there.
Seek refuge.
Right.
Aha.
The God of Israel, where you came to seek refuge, tachat.
Below?
Yep. Kana 5.
Kana 5. That's got to be wings.
Yeah. Under what?
Your wings. His wings.
His wings.
Yeah, his wings.
Okay, very good. All right, who wants to try 13?
I guess.
Okay.
And he said,
And what?
she said.
Yeah.
And she said, fine, that would be, I find?
Mm-hmm. Good.
I find pain, or no, it's not.
Grace or favor.
Favor, yeah. In your eyes,
Okay.
Adoni, my Lord,
Very good.
because
Mm-hmm.
something.
Okay, well, let's pick it apart. What's the vocabulary form?
Hama, or
Okay.
would it be just Hama?
Okay, it could start with the hate, right? Do you see anything in Einspar that is starting with hate?
Just favor.
Yeah, so that's not going to be it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, what else could it be? What if it starts with the noon, oddly enough?
Oh,
Console me.
yeah. Naham.
Right. So that's the vocabulary word nacham. What's the ta?
That's where the name went, right?
The what?
Or the.
No, we got all our letters there from
Yeah.
the vocabulary form.
That's an ending.
Okay, what's
Or
knee?
a cal perfect.
That's right. What's knee?
That's a pronominal suffix.
That's right. Excellent. All right. See how you just take it chunk by chunk? All right. So, ta, blank, ta, 2ms. So,
Or
yeah.
you console me?
You consoled me. Yeah. You comforted me.
Okay, because you comforted me and because...
So I found favor in your eyes, my Lord, because you comforted me, and because...
Debar ta.
This word davar only occurs in the PL. Well, I can't say it only occurs, but it typically occurs in the PL, not the cow.
Right, to speak.
Okay, yeah. That's why you have the funny vowel points here.
Because you spoke all name. Isn't all upon or on?
No, we're into something idiomatic right here.
It's kind of like the on my behalf or something like that.
No, just translate it literally, and then we can go from there.
So on lave, heart. Because you spoke on heart.
Well, because you spoke your what is shifcha? Shifchat techa is your what?
Would that be your command or your?
Well, shafach means to send, if I remember correctly, doesn't it? And so safacha is a maid. So you spoke upon the heart of your maiden. So you spoke compassionately to your maiden or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Now it gets easy.
So going back, and she said, I find favor in your eyes. My Lord, because you consoled me and you spoke compassionately to maiden or my heart, or just maiden's heart. Is that how you would say it?
I would say you spoke compassionately to your maiden.
Compassionately to your maiden.
You spoke upon a heart. That's idiomatic.
Okay.
You spoke compassionately to your maiden, I would say. They told him to take care of her.
Answered?
No?
And
Okay, what is the low?
Not.
Okay, what is the ekye? What's that from?
Yahweh. To Haya.
Yeah, to be. Okay, so that's a verb being. What tense is it?
First common singular.
What tense is it?
Tense would be imperfect.
Exactly. Okay, so very good. You got it. So, and
I am not.
That's right.
And I am not.
I'll give you a hint. That's a construct form. Would usually be taha. No.
Or it would be. It's not a hard, is it?
No. Echad.
Oh. One.
Now the kaf is like as, so I am not like one. Okay. Of, because it's construct.
Right. Shif.
Just have that word.
Oh, your maiden?
That's right. So you spoke to me, you spoke compassionately to your maiden, and I am not like one of your maidens. I'm a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right, good job. That was kind of hard because it's a little bit idiomatic. All right, who wants to go from here then? Have you gone yet? Okay, Tim, chew this one up and spit it out.
And Boaz said, to eat.
Well, what'd you do with
the time?
what'd you do with law?
Oh. Well, that would be from.
No, that's min.
Oh, yes. Too much cold syrup working.
But that is a llama. That is a preposition with the pronominal suffix, right? So, and Boaz said to her. Very good. Okay. Your vocabulary is good, and that really helps you. 8 is time, right? And this is idiomatic as well. And Boaz said to her, toward time, and then I have ha-okel. Toward the time of, now the ha is going to be the article, and I have a comment there because the Aleph couldn't take the dagesh for the article, right? So the
I would guess it's time to eat.
Yeah, that's right. It's, as you said, he's saying it's about time to eat, basically.
Okay.
Now we have goshi.
Or she.
Now, what is that? What's the vocabulary there? Anybody help him? It's an iron spot.
Is it Nagash?
It's nagash, right? So what do we have going on here? Okay, see the dagesh and the gimel? Now it's a begag kafat letter anyway, so it would have a dagesh, but the dagesh is also the nun dropping out, right? So what do we have going on here? Goshi. Now, does it ring a bell for me to say yiktul, tiktul, tiktuli? But where's the tav? It's gone. What happens when the tav is gone, when the preformative drops out?
Freak out.
So what do I have here?
We think of a adjusted or coordinated
Or
an intent, or no, it's that.
What happens when you have an imperfect form with a preformative dropped out? Imperative, that's right. So, what does nagash mean? To draw near. So, it's time to eat. Draw near. Hello. Einsberg gives it as hither.
So get here now.
So draw near to here, or something like that.
Okay.
And how do you like that new Bible?
It's a lot better.
That's good.
I kind of see that.
That's good, isn't it? He's not going to look back now.
It's called to eat again.
That's right. So here we have the ta ending. So it's odd because this is a perfect, but it's used imperatively, right? So really the perfect following this first imperative, right? So blank, ta, so it's 2fs. So, but you're right, and to eat, so it's used imperatively. Draw near to here, and to eat.
From.
Mm-hmm.
Be from God.
From halechem.
Oh. Well, that's food.
Okay. bread, maybe more
Bread.
specifically.
Eat from the bread. And Revolts.
Taval. What does Einspire give us for Taval?
I haven't seen that in our vocabulary, I don't say.
No.
Dip.
Okay, so dip,
Dip.
partake, you're not going to find the cough at the end of it because that's a pronominal suffix. So dip your piece or fragment.
So dip your piece of bread or food, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you want to call it fragment?
Yeah, but
It could be piece. You can
yeah,
try
dip,
piece
yeah.
anyway.
Dip your piece, but it's not telling of what. I guess bread. Dip your piece, bahomets. Where do you think the bait's going to be? Yeah, that's going to be the preposition. So dip your piece in. Now, is there an article there with the bait? Are you sure?
Yes, there is.
There is, because we have a potok under the bait where we have a shavat where we're in an article. So dip your piece in the chometz. Einspar gives it here as vinegar.
Yeah.
Fish and chips and vinegar. Only they're having bread.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's still, I'm having a little bit of trouble, even in the bigger print, getting the top from the head.
Yeah.
Because I did say bateau in the spot. Okay.
I find a bigger one.
I'm in. Where do you get to be old?
You know, the biggest Hebrew print I've ever seen is on that synagogue over there, over by Portland Christian Center, off of the Beaverton Hilldale Highway. Keep going on the Beaverton Hill, you come to the Portland Christian Center. Right next to it, there's a synagogue. Huge tall building, and the whole front of it is 2 tablets with the 10 Commandments in Hebrew on it. That's a big enough print for us.
I can read it driving
We can
by.
read that, yeah.
Well, I don't have any problem with it.
The letters are probably like this, you know.
Any ballpoints? Oh, no.
I don't remember. There might be.
We should read it if there are.
Okay, I lost my place for right here.
Oh,
Vinegar.
Vinegar.
Dip your piece of food in vinegar.
And vinegar, right.
Teshev. Teshev?
What's that from?
Toshing bait.
Okay. Well, what's the vav?
Reversing.
Okay. What's the tape? Could be part of the vocabulary form,
I don't know.
but it could also be yikto, tikto. So it could be a performative, right?
Right. So reversing vav performative.
And it is a performative here. So I have sheen and bait left. So it could be shuv, but it isn't.
Have to turn, because why would you turn from your vinegar? Well, you could because you turn away from your vinegar. It'd be ugly.
What else do we know with the sheen and bait?
What?
Do we know a nashav? No.
Did we just have a shoe?
Yashav? What is
Sit
yashav?
down.
To sit.
Well,
Could
sit,
sit
okay.
work here? Okay, it
You
does.
sit or you probably dropped over from the vinegar. So
Yeah?
Sit here.
So who sat?
She did.
That's right, that's what the tav means. She.
Performative she.
Okay, she sat.
She
Reversing vav. Now, what's the main, do you think?
from.
From, sod, help it.
What is
Odd vocabulary. Help him out. From Mindspar. Side. Okay. She sat from the side. That's going to be idiomatic. In English, we'd say she sat by the side.
Beside.
Beside, right. Beside. Ha-kote-ri. Remember that word? We've had it a few times. Harvesters. That's right. All right, she sat beside the harvesters. And Savat.
We should know that.
Savat, rested. Love Yeshua.
I don't think we know this one. Savat means to reach. So what would this be?
She grabbed the olive oil. He reached.
And she hated the vinegar, so she reached.
Not she. He reached. This is a yod, right?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be who reached?
Boaz.
Right?
And Boaz reached.
La.
For.
Okay.
Kali the vessel?
Well, wait a minute. For la is the la. The lamed part is for, but you didn't do the ah part.
Oh. Atati. For his.
No.
For the vessel.
For. Who's he going to reach for?
Her.
Okay, so he reached for her, or to her, either way. Kali, I can understand why you'd want to say that as vessel, but it's not. That means roasted grain.
Close.
Close. Yeah, that's right.
Kali.
Check to me.
Wait, that was a vocabulary word. They spelled it different. It's very curveball.
I know, it is spelled differently.
So that's roasted grain?
Can you believe it?
No.
Please do.
Vinegar and roasted grain.
Yeah, they're having bread and vinegar and roasted grain, I'm telling you.
I'll be wanting a big ribeye.
That's after the harvest.
Okay, we've got a reversing bob, a preformative ta. We've got the goofy olive in the middle again. Did we just have this?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot it already. No short-term memory.
No, that's typical of having a word just 2 lines before and you can't.
To eat.
Okay, right. So who ate?
She did.
Okay.
And she Shabbat. Okay, we got another reversing bob and another ta preformative. Shabbat. Shabbat, rest.
Okay, so she ate.
And rested.
She rested.
And she. Tar. What's tar? I'm going to break it down now. Reversing bob, preformative.
That's right.
And a ta, resh. What word would that be?
Well, they're giving from the Atar. I want to look it up in here and see what they're going to give because I'm not liking what
I don't think we've seen that in the book yet.
No.
Like she had more than enough to eat, so she had leftovers.
Oh, yeah, that could be it. But let's just see what we're doing. Tell me where it is here.
Is there any other one? I want a reminder, remnant. Original could be. Pronunciation. Reminism.
I haven't found my form yet here in Holiday. Do you find it in BDB?
Still looking.
No. Although Va Totar, if it's spelled effectively, and I think it probably is, then there it is. Va Totar. So it's a hifio, and it means.
Oh, Ruth 2:14. There it is. Got it.
Perfect. Is it a hifio?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
To leave over. And so, let's see, to have something remaining. Okay, so she had extra food, basically, right? She didn't finish her plate.
So it's imperfect, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So she had leftovers.
Yeah.
Something left.
Right. All right. So, are we finding Einspar to be helpful?
Yeah, that's a good little shortcut.
Yeah, it is. It's very helpful. It just saves you a lot of time.
Aye.
All right. We're having vocabulary issues, but that's to be expected. One thing you could do, if you want to really be sharp, is verse 15. Okay, we're going to do verse 15. Let's always look at Einspar here. Here we got Boaz, we have Gam also, Kalam, humiliate, Lachat, glean. We've seen that before here, and Amar, sheaf. Okay, so I'm looking at that ahead of time. Let's see how much of that sticks, right? Okay, so let's see who wants to do verse 15.
You can go back to me again, aren't you?
Okay, go ahead.
Okie dokie. And
Okay, we probably know the vav is a reversing vav, and since we have a vav with a patak right there instead of a shavah. If I had a vav with a shavah, I might think otherwise, but a vav with a patak is going to tell me reversing vav or vav consecutive or conversive vav on an imperfect form, right?
mm-hmm.
So if it's an imperfect form, what's the tav? Performative.
She rose.
That's right. So come, right? There you go. Very, very nice.
Vocabulary.
Oh man,
Memorize that.
you're not even going to sleep tonight after that. That's awesome.
That confidence on that.
Yeah. Well, that's a hollow verb. There it is. So you're missing something because you only have 2 root letters, right? So if you see that vav with a patak, if you have a tav or a yod or even an aleph or a nun there, that's almost certainly a performative, right? So take that off, and now we have kam or kum, right? And okay, and so she rose up.
So verily she did rise.
Yeah.
To glean.
That's right. Very good.
And
Okay, same thing again. The vav is a conversive vav, so the yod is going to be
the
performative. So I'm left with a tsare vav. What could that be? This vocabulary, I'm quite sure.
It's Sava.
Sava, there you
I
go.
don't remember what it means.
Okay,
I
what does it mean,
remember
Sava?
Surroundings?
So that's Sava with Sama big. Surround.
That one I don't remember.
It's not work or service or no.
Sava, to command.
okay.
Okay.
There we go. And Boaz commanded.
Is that direct object?
His boys.
Okay, very good. Na'ar, and it's plural because you have that yod there, and then the 3 ms, right? His boys. Okay.
So he commanded his posse
Yeah.
to speak.
No. Well, hang on a second. No, it's not. Well, no, it isn't to speak. He commanded his boys,
Speaking?
saying.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
between.
Mm-hmm.
shoes.
Right.
She will glean.
Okay.
And not don't humiliate her.
Okay, excellent. And you can see the 3FS ending on there, right? And then you can see Tiktalu, right? Can you see that form? Tiktalu, the oo part right there. Everybody see that? That's part of the Tiktalu. And then you see the 3FS ending, the ah, right? Okay, here's a $64,000 question. What's the stem? Okay, before you answer that, what's the vocabulary form? Kalam, exactly. Now, got a Hirik Yod is my stem vowel. Got an A-class vowel under not the first root letter, but the performative. Now, if I had an A-class vowel under the first root letter, what would that be? PL. We saw that. I don't have an A-class vowel under the first root letter. I have an A-class vowel under the performative with a Hirik Yod in the middle of the word. What's that going to be? Hirik Yod in the middle of the word?
Quartered it in the hifil.
Hifil, that's right. So this is a hifil imperfect. All right. Hey, we're almost done. We have 15 lines to go. All right. All right, who's next for verse 16 then?
I'm supposed to be next.
Okay then.
And also, show to show.
Wait a minute. Let's look at verse 16 again at the words. That helped us last time, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay. So Ga'ar, rebuke. Lakat, glean. Azav, leave. And Savatim, bundles of grain. And Shalal, draw out. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here, right? Shalal, right?
Yes.
But obviously the double lamed has dropped out. So right, we have the geminate verb here, right? So what's going on here? Shol, Tasholu. I think I can deal with Tasholu, right? Because that's just Tiktalu.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. But what about the Shol?
Is that an infinitive that's emphasizing emphatic? Is that what they call that?
Exactly. So this is an infinitive absolute.
How did you pick that up?
I guessed. Does it have the same thing right after it?
That's right. And that's a very good guess because you have a doubling of the same vocabulary word. So that's a great indication that you could probably have an infinitive absolute for emphasis, right? So it means to draw out. So now I can translate the bottom one, or the one on the first of the line there. You will draw out. Well, with that infinitive absolute, you will make sure you draw out, right? Make sure you draw out.
So drawing out, you draw out.
Exactly.
I'm with you. Draw out, you draw out. You draw out from the.
Wait a minute. No, relax. La. Just tell me what la is. You know that. Fa, sol, la, ti, do.
So
That was any help, was it?
I just saw it.
You just saw it, and you know what it is? What's the llama, do you think? Okay?
Oh yeah. To her,
Okay, to her, or?
on her behalf.
Right, for her. Okay, good. So Make sure you draw out for her.
From the bundles of grain. I think.
Okay. Azav 10.
I'd be doing so much better if I didn't lose my place.
You get a little, you use something in like one of those little plastic rulers. You used to do that too. You get those little plastic rulers or vocabulary cards, stick it on your line, because I'm using my place all the time too. Okay. From the bundles of grain and Azav 10.
And Azav 10. I want to say weave, but.
Huh?
Weave?
Yeah. So blank a ta to t u tem 10 So this is a 2MP. Cal perfect 2MP from Azav to leave with reversing vav. Alright? So, and you will leave implied that what you pull out.
For her to glean.
Well, that's the idea, but that's not what it says. And you will leave.
And she will glean.
Well, yeah. First of all, what can you tell me what stem this is? Because it's not cow.
PL?
That's right. Very good. Oh, nice. Boy, you're not going to sleep tonight either, are you? All right. Boy, none of you are going to sleep tonight. All right. So that's a PL. So we have a PL perfect, 3FS, and she with the reversing vav, and she will glean.
And not tickle. Rebuke. Do not rebuke her.
Close. Well, and that's the idea. But literally, you will not rebuke her. But it uses an imperative, so do not rebuke her. Notice the lo is a permanent thing, right? It's a permanent negation, like the Ten Commandments. So here, he's having them not only let her glean in the best places, but, pull some stuff out of the sheaves and leave them there for her. She's getting extra.
It is. It's like he's giving them his men commands. Do this, do this, do that.
But it is interesting that he is not just saying here, just give her some grain and let her go in the basket. Yeah. He's making her go out there and work, but he's making it awfully easy. It's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, he could just say leave one of the sheaves behind.
Yeah, right.
Because he's got multiple fields.
Right.
Just deliver this to her house.
Right.
He's no sugar daddy.
Well, he wants to
Welfare.
He wants to see if she's really cool.
Oh, great! This right here, church welfare program right here.
There you go. Go out
Go get it.
Go out and glean in the cemetery.
For firewood, need a watch.
I think you're up, aren't you?
All right. That's glean, right? A form of it. That's
Yep.
tick, toll.
Mm-hmm.
And she gleaned
Mm-hmm.
from the field, or
Well, close. Bait
in
in the field.
odd. During or at that time?
Odd.
I know that's a vocab word.
From that time.
Is that what it is?
Until, basically.
Oh,
Until.
okay, yeah, until.
Oh, we should have looked at our words here, but that doesn't give out anyway.
What are you looking for?
Odd.
Erev, evening.
Yeah.
The evening.
So until the evening. And she gleaned.
No.
Oh, no, that's not a. That's really different. Chavo.
Well, she beat the grain, even winnowed it, kind of a thing. In other words, she separated the grain from the chaff.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Thrashing.
Yeah, she thrashed. Maybe that's a good way to do it. She thrashed it. Yeah.
She beat the grain
But,
with.
well, she beat, and that's eight. That's a definite object marker.
I'll share. So, with the gleaners?
No.
Why do we keep on this?
She beat
That which she gleaned.
that which she gleaned. That's right.
And she was.
No, but that's Vayahi is going to be 3ms.
And he was.
It.
Talking about the grain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting late. And it was. An ephah.
Yeah, an ephah. Which, by the way, if you want to know how much an ephah is, it's about 10 homers.
Homer's huge.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it was an ephah. Of barley.
There you go. Awesome. Very good. Okay, read it again. Read the whole verse again.
Oh. And she gleaned from the field.
Hang on. She gleaned
in the field until the evening, and she beat that which she gleaned, and it was an ephah of barley.
Now, wait, one thing. What do you do with the cough on the front of the ephah?
About.
There you go. Very good. It was about an ephah. Nice. Hey, you guys are coming right along, huh? You're translating. Can you feel it? Can you feel the love? Now, 15, 16, and 17 is what you're going to be quizzed over next time, plus the vocabulary. Okay? Awesome. Well, I hope you feel encouraged, because I think you're doing pretty well. I think it's a pretty good performance.